Hi kiddos! Alright, so this is our last measurement video for the school year. And then you'll get back into measurement when you go to second grade. So we are going to be talking about using measurement and finding the length of objects using non-standard units. Miss Emily, what does non-standard units mean? Well, it means we're not going to use like inches or a ruler to tell us the specific length. We're going to use different items that we might have at home. Well, if you were at school, we might have used paper clips. And if you have a paper clip at home, I want you to grab as many as you can because you are going to go on a measurement length hunt, okay, around your house. So if you have paper clips, make sure you grab them. Those are the things that you might need for today. You're also gonna need a pencil and some paper, okay? And if you have a book and a crayon, those are just optional things that you, if you have them, you can grab those too. All right, so let's get started. So today, my essential question is, how do you measure length using non-standard units? And when we use non-standard units, those are just random items that we are measuring, that we collect. So let's look at the pencil. If I were to use a paper clip, yes, those are paper clips, to measure this drawn pencil, I'm going to stack the paper clips right beside each other. So no, we don't have a specific measurement for the paper clip, but we're using the paper clip to kind of give us this estimate about how long the item is that we're measuring using the non-standard unit, using the item. Okay, so let's take this example. So I wanted to know the length using non-standard units, so I used a paper clip. I wanted to know the length of the pencil. Well, Allie, the one at the top, she put her paper clips up at the top like this with lots of spaces in between them. And then down here at the bottom, Ben put all his paper clip right beside each other. So right now, pause the video. Which one do you think measured the pencil correctly? Was it Allie or was it Ben? If you said Ben, you're correct. So what Ben did that Allie did not was stack all of his paper clips right beside each other. So for each end, the other paper clip is touching. There are no spaces in between. That gives us a more accurate measurement for non-standard units. So we can think about how many paper clips this pencil is long. So Allie didn't start at the edge of the pencil, so we have to start at the edge of the pencil, right? So she didn't start at the edge of the pencil. She also has multiple spaces and she didn't go to the end of the pencil. Well, if you don't go to the end of the pencil, is this an accurate measurement? Could we say that this is really so many paper clips long? No. We also, when we measure with non-standard units, you're gonna say it's about 4 paper clips or it's about 5 erasers because we're not using the standard units. We're not using a ruler or a measuring stick that has inches and centimeters. We're not using that. So we have to say it's about because we're kind of estimating. And estimating means we're kind of making a very educated guess. We're making that estimate about how many paper clips or how many erasers it might be. So down here on the bottom, Ben is saying that the pencil is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's about 8 paper clips long. Okay. So now that we kind of understand how we would measure using non-standard units, you're always going to bump up that paper clip or pencil or whatever you have that you're measuring with. You're always going to put it edge to edge. That way we get a more accurate measurement for that item. Okay, if we were in school, you might have used linking cubes because those are when we can butt all of those up together to get a more accurate measurement, right? So if I wanted to know the length of this expo marker, I might put all of my linking cubes right beside each other. So I'm going to put the edges together, and then I am measuring that it's about 6 linking cubes long. So it's about 6 linking cubes long. So what did I do? Well, I put all the linking cubes right end to end together so that there were no spaces. I made sure to line up my expo marker with the end of the linking cube so that both ends are lined up. And I'm using this non-standard unit because I don't know how many inches technically it is, right? Or how many centimeters. This is something that we are just using. Hi, Andy. We are just using to tell us about how long something is. So even if we didn't have a ruler or a measuring stick, we could still figure out how long it is using a different unit, right? Okay, so whatever you have in your house, I want you to measure using a pencil. So remember, if you use a pencil, you have to make sure that the edges line up and that you take your pencil, if you only have one, that's okay. Well, let's use the board for an example. If I only have one pencil and I want to know how long this is, I'm going to make sure that the edge of my pencil is at the edge of the board, and then I'm going to put my finger where it stops. So I know to line up my pencil right where my finger was. So I'm going to say this is about, what should we say? Let's say it's about 2 pencils long. Or we could say it's about 1.5 long. 1.5 pencils long. Okay, so I want you to take your pencils and I want you to measure everything you have. If you have paper clips, you can use paper clips. You can use erasers, as long as you remember that there are no spaces in between the objects that you're using. Make sure that they're edge to edge, and make sure they're edge to edge on the item that you're measuring. So make sure the item and the unit that you're using is on its edge. You can also, Indy really likes to be in the videos. You could also use dominoes as a unit. You can use, you can put them side by side, right edge to edge, and you could measure whatever you had. You can measure, you guys might not have dry erase markers, dry erase erasers at home, but you can use anything to help you measure. So here is your hot question of the day, and this is going to review what we learned last week with indirect measurement. It says, the ribbon is longer than the yarn. The yarn is longer than the string. The yarn and the pencil are the same length. Draw the lengths of the objects next to their labels. So I went ahead and drew the pencil, the yarn, the ribbon, and the string. And I want you to really pay attention to what this question is asking you to do. So start drawing one item, and then look at the question again, reread the sentence, and then draw the other item. And then determine which one, and you all can determine that, which one is the longest one. And you can put that right there. And you can tell me which one's the shortest one as well. Okay? So remember, when we measure using non-standard units, when we're using random objects like paper clips and pencils, I want you to make sure that there are no spaces and you line up the edges, and we're gonna say it's about so many paper clips long, okay? All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye, guys.